I've put my employer in a bind, and need some advice. Say, hypothetically, I'd worked for a company for 10 years and my job was essentially to run, maintain and service a machine that I've basically built myself and am the only person who knows how to run, maintain and service it. To give you an idea of the level here, I wrote its operating system and software that runs the machinery myself. It's entirely custom work for handling and printing data. And if I am off sick in this company, this machine doesn't run because they haven't invested in a backup member of staff to take over. Without me it's a paperweight and threatens a $7 million contract. I handed in my minimum notice a week ago and as of today, I'm gone. There's a software-level encrypted security lock on that machine that triggers each day. As of 10:30 tomorrow it's a paperweight nobody has the passwords for. They would have the passwords, but the reason I quit is my production line manager destroyed all of the documentation I had for that machine. Service manuals, running guides, troubleshooting guides and my little red book of passwords and security procedures. He's lied to me and upper management and just said it went into archives. Which is weird because the archive looks a lot like the recycling. The only reason I didn't rescue the documents is because he lied directly to upper management in front of me. I know what is going to happen tomorrow morning. While I'm safe and comfy in my home with my phone turned off until I get my number changed, a small atom bomb is going to be going off at my old workplace. Now I'm out of the company. I'm done. Do I have to worry about any recourse, though? Yup, or sitting on a gold mine. When they call, explain in detail what happened. Offer to come back as a consultant to fix it and train a new person. Tell them the rate you require. Consultants are usually 5x day rate per day. Send a follow-up email with an estimated cost and time frame, with a 20% penalty for whatever you feel like. Congrats and good luck. Nope. It's on them, and the line manager they hired. Up. You're well into, you're going to need a lawyer, territory. Use your first day off to get in contact with one to help you negotiate a contract with your former employer. Let the company burn for a day or so. When they reach out to you for help, which I'd imagine would happen the minute they're locked out, advise them that you're starting consulting and can get back to them shortly via your lawyer. If they wish to hire you for support, helpfully, you turned over your documentation to idiot manager to archive, so they might want to start there before hiring you at what will likely be a surprisingly high rate. Beyond that, the world is your oyster. If the contract that this equipment is needed for is $7 million per year, keeping it running should be worth $350,000 per year. Easily. Use this to hire and train your own machine operator, contracted through you, and cover their vacation time yourself, recreating the documentation for them and training the next operator on their staff? Oh, easily $700,000. Your lawyer's pay should come out of this. I'd offer them a percentage, so they're incentivized to get you as much money as they can. Have your lawyer negotiate the contract, but include significant penalties for them for one, paying later than your agreed on terms, i.e., half up front, half within 3 business days of getting the machine running again. 2. Paying in a form that you don't like. I'd argue for some instrument like a cashier's check where they pay the bank. The bank holds the money. You get the money from the bank, not them. That way they can't stop payment, or pay you in unwrapped nickels, or something stupid like that. 3. Bothering, annoying, or harassing you while you're working as a contractor. Hell, I'd argue, having idiot boss on site while contract work is being performed might be worth a penalty there. 4. Contacting you outside of contracted times, and any host of other issues. The big thing is have your lawyer do the talking, not you. You don't want to slip up and kill this golden goose. If I were you, I would keep the phone on. Let them know when they call that you can come in as an independent contractor to train the next in line and work out whatever kinks you can. But your contractor rates are about 20x that of your previous salary. Since it's contract work, you will need to be paid up front for X amount of time in blocks. This is your lotto ticket, friend. Cash it in. Edit. Grammar stuffs equals. I concur with another that this is more of a legal question that we can't really answer. But I would at least talk to them and tell them all of the pertinent data for running the machine should be in the archives. Now it's on the line manager to explain why the documents are missing. Then you can offer to be a consultant to fix the mess that they created. I'd leave the phone on, or at least turn it on at some point in the morning. Let them know that you were told all the documentation and passwords have been archived, but you'd be willing to help train a replacement at insert day rate, as long as they can provide the manuals for you to show the new hire and train them on. Remind them that as per name, they're just archived, so when they dig them up, you'll be ready if they accept your rate. I don't understand. Why would service manuals, running guides, troubleshooting guides, and my little red book of passwords and security procedures go into the archives in the first place? Why did the production line manager archive these essential documents and then tell upper management that he archived them but destroyed them instead? What would be the point of this? What am I missing? So long as you did not delete or otherwise destroy the passwords, documentation, etc., you shouldn't have any truly negative consequences. If it comes to it, play hardcore dumb about the manager archiving versus destroying. And under no circumstances should you charge less than 5x your previous rate for any help, no matter how small or insignificant the ask. If they ask you to come back as a regular consultant, charge at least 10x and 20x for after-hours requests. If they try to bully, guilt trip, threaten, or lie to you, get up, metaphorically and/or physically, and leave immediately. If that happens and they try again to get you to help them, assuming you are still willing, offer them a retainer-style arrangement, where they pay at least 1.5x the previous rate for a set number of hours per quarter, paid in advance. I have used this in the past, and it has worked pretty well. They will probably BTCH and moan about it, but don't budge on costs. Don't give them anything for free. And don't let them walk all over you. You owe them nothing. Period. Did you sign a contract? Do you know what that contract says? Did you sign any NDA or non-compete? Is there any patent for the software or machine? Is there a company handbook that you signed, and does it talk about intellectual property? I know NDA and non-compete don't provide protection in this case, but often companies will try to be slick and slip something in those docs about intellectual property. And I mean them as more general legal docs like that. Those and others are questions to ask in the hypothetical situation. They are much more boring than the hypothetical story, though. The reality is a few things. You probably don't have a patent, nor does the company. And they probably didn't make you sign anything like an NDA or non-compete. You probably did sign an employee handbook at some point that talks about intellectual property while at work and using their resources. If you are no longer there, it no longer applies. However, some companies will still try to come after you as some kind of intimidation for free work. Those are easily won, dismissed in court if they ever get that far. But 90% of the time it's a middle manager trying to save his job while being a bully and just lobbing empty threats. I can't say they won't try to come after you, but I can say that the hypothetical should be okay. The bits about the archive, make sure HR knows and anyone that contacts you knows about the archive the manager has. Stand in that. Why did the manager destroy the documentation? I saw this same exact post on Reddit. In a different subreddit. About a year ago. Come on. Don't steal posts. Title is wrong. Employer put himself in a bind. Management told me it was archived. Please refer to the archives that you told me you maintained. Best of luck. And in a week or two, you start offering consulting. Please post a follow-up. I did something similar, but at not those level. Have worked as a controller. Built a whole system to handle budgeting, forecasting and everything around this for an government body. Did it to help out a colleague who was swamped with work. Told them from day one that this is a quick fix and they need to replace it with a proper system. Or build something themselves and document everything. This was a true spaghetti code built system with quick fixes all around. But it solved the problem there and then. Every month. For 6 years I told them that when I leave there's no one to manage or develop it. You need to sort it out ASAP. After 6 years we had a salary discussion and the manager of the controllers said that I never helped them ever and my work with their budget forecasting was just nonsense. I left 2 months later. Being a senior account and senior programmer equals you can easily switch jobs. They wanted me to hand over documentation and everything to the new controller who could barely use Excel. I wrote what I could down. Presented everything for the controller and said, see ya. Now about 5 to 6 months later it has crashed and burned. There has been no budgeting. No forecasting or anything. Half of the controller has quit because a blame game has started since the manager is pointing fingers and shouting, incompetence. They tried to single me out but I just sent all the emails from the last years with their own answers, we'll handle it, no worries, and such. Now they are trying to hire a controller with profound knowledge in VBA. But what they still haven't realized that 90% of the code is SQL queries and there's nearly no VBA. You just use Excel to fetch the information. Trough a simple macro. And I've told them this over and over again. Pipe. Why won't some managers just not listen? Your story has given malicious pleasure to a lot of people. Thanks for that. Sounds like you seriously need to consider breakfast. When I have an easy morning I like to roast potatoes. I use a pan with a lid and do them on the stove. Olive oil, onions, peppers. Sometimes I add a few strips of bacon cut up. And then sauté until the potatoes are brown, then cover and cook until the potatoes are tender. Sauté a little more until crispy. I like them crispy. I use the same pan for eggs. Just put the potato hash on the plate and make the eggs in the same pan. So yay. That's what I think. Confused. You mentioned the following. 1. You put in notice because of the line manager destroying your documentation, including your little red book of passwords. 2. The encryption lock triggers daily, needing the passwords to avoid lockout. 3. Your resignation notice was 1 week, but the lockout won't occur until tomorrow at 10:30. I am wondering the following. 1. How did you avoid the lockout for the past week without the red book? 2. How does someone who thinks it is a good idea to store their passwords, keys in a red book land a contract like this? Nobody stores encryption secrets that way. 3. Was it all destroyed, recycled, or will you be able to watch him dig it out of the trash? You're jumping around about where it all went, but in all cases you come off as if you saw where it went. Why not just go get it? If you didn't see, could it be that it is indeed safely archived as the guy said? There are quite a few comments about using this to turn the screws. And I understand where they're coming from. But I don't know if it's worth the time and stress of going back to a place that clearly didn't respect you. In the end, you left for a reason. And those reasons likely won't change in such a short period. Sounds like they made a pretty big tactical blunder. And now you're holding the cards. Sit back and watch the world burn for a bit. And then get paid as a consultant to fix it.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.